It is time for Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. Let's go. So at David Death Music, David Dexter Gaming, shout him out. I don't know if he's in the chat tonight, but he is an avid day one. I'm talking like day one. The fucking 80 views on some clips days. Dave Dexter's been there. And here he is showing me what he got blocked for. People were talking about Dave blocking them. And the reason Dave blocked me, folks, and this is the truth, he responded to me something about biases or something like this, and then I responded to him, and like I just used his own logic. I presented his own logic to him, and I was like, well, yeah, because he said something about friends, and of course they're friends, so they're gonna whatever. And then I said to Dave, I said, well, exactly, you're friends with the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page, and that's why you are biased towards them. And he blocked me. Like I wasn't even being gross or anything. So here's David Dexter, not even being gross. Dave Meltzer says, or quote tweets a guy who says, every time you pop up on my timeline, it's trying to put a positive spin on anything AEW. Meltzer projects and says, people who are scared of facts make up the best excuses to ignore what's black and white. Are you?
You what?
Dave, man. This is full-blown delusional, sociopathy, narcissistic, whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's what this is. Like, and that's what David Dexter says. So David steals the words out of my mouth and says, thank you for finally explaining exactly why you put a spin on anything AEW. You are scared of facts, so you make up the best excuses to ignore what is black and white, like low ticket sales and merch sales and TV ratings. Dex fucking cooked him. Henningite says, I have said way worse than that, and he has retweeted but not blocked me. Yeah, because he doesn't care if you say fucked up shit. He's a sicko. He cares if you present him. All David did was say, yeah, and that's what you do, because black and white, the ticket sales are down and the ratings are down, and you always are trying to, you just explained it. What David did was breach Meltzer's cognitive dissonance. And that's what he doesn't like. People don't like the truth because the truth hurts. It fucking sucks. It's like medicine, bro. It's like Buckley's. It tastes awful, but it works. It's medicine if you let it be. If you fight it, it's just going to taste bad, and then you spit it out and you don't get better. And that's what truth is, bro. It fucking sucks to hear sometimes, but you got to hear the shit. It's how you get better, you know? And Dave has no interest in that. He believes he is the truth, the all-seeing eye of fucking pro wrestling. And we're going to leave that post here. Shout out David Dex. We're going to leave that here throughout this segment as much as we can. Eric Bischoff absolutely went nuclear on Dave Meltzer. And at Eric Bischoff, who quote tweeted me and gave me a round of applause, he also responded. I uploaded a little short on YouTube there of Meltzer, like a little reel or short or whatever they're called, of pardon me, Bischoff reacting to a statement I made about Vacquer and Camille and all that. Go and check that out if you haven't. But anyways, Bischoff says, tags Meltzer and says, is being exposed hourly for the complete fraud he's always been. The growth on social media, reputable outlets covering the business, and podcasts from those who have actual experience in the industry, and avid fans like fucking me, Eric, as well. But shout you out. I'm just on your team and I'm broing with you right now. Like, tell him, Eric. Making it impossible for this clown to get away with this bullshit anymore. I thoroughly enjoy the posts I see in my feed calling him out. Keep him coming. It's a public service. Think of all the people you'll help save 15 per month. Exactly. Give me the 15 per month. I'll fucking cook Meltzer for you guys every single week. That's what we do here. And the thing is that, and he quote tweets neckbeards. We're going to get to it. I had somebody, though, respond to this. I saw him and he's like, Eric, it's just his opinions, da-da-da. And then I responded to the dude and was like, no, it's not. He thinks he's the objective, all-seeing eye of fucking pro wrestling. Like Dave says it himself. Nope, I give high star ratings to matches I don't like too. And it's just bullshit. And so I told this guy, no, like that's not it. And I don't know, man. The dude was just like, yeah, but you have to admit that he's good for pro wrestling, like the history aspect of pro wrestling, and he's written down all the shit, blah, 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 blah. And I told the dude, I agree that for a historical aspect of writing down every match and what time they went and how many people were in attendance, that was awesome because no one did that historically until the fucking internet. And now we don't really have a use for that, and now he just makes up shit and peddles agendas. So that's the thing. Like, yes, he was good. He was a good thing. Bischoff saw too. He tried to work with the dude. WWE tried to work with the dude. Right? And does that mean bringing him in so he keeps some things secret and lets out some things to, yes, that's what that means. But he didn't want to do that. And Meltzer just wanted to keep fucking stooging things and giving his own opinion, but peddling them as if it's fact when it has not been for decades. Okay. But yes, he did keep track of the ticket sales and the numbers before there was 8 million Reddit marks who also do that now. That's what he was good for. Okay. So, I hate that saying. You have to admit that's disagreeing. Yeah, exactly. And so the dude didn't respond to me. I basically said that to him. Like, no, what you mean to say is, yeah, he's awesome for writing all the shit down about like how long the matches were and shit before anybody did that, before everyone had computers and AI could do that shit for us. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. Anyways, though, here's AEW Neckbeards. I don't know if he plays the clip. Yeah. So AEW Neckbeards just like posts Dave Meltzer responding to Bischoff's clip, which we're going to play. And Meltzer just projects here and says, pathological liars fear people who are honest. What did I just point out, chat? What did Dave just say? So guys, we're pointing this out. Dave has a reel. This is like a sociopathic, narcissistic. I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a psychologist. We're exposing it right here on PWT. We're showing you. We just broke it down. Right before, what did I tell you guys? What did Dave Dex tell us, the PWT universe, and tell Meltzer, and he gets blocked for? What? Being confronted with the honesty. Headingite said, I say disgusting shit, and he doesn't block me. Because that's not what he doesn't care about that. Rolls sweat off your back. I'm the same way. Say whatever you want about me. I don't give a fuck. This dude is projecting. This is full on projection. And why is it projection, Phil? Because he's saying what he is. And we just proved it. Because of why he blocked me, why he blocked Dex. Who's the nicest kid? Fucking nicest guy in the world. It wasn't even gross to Meltzer. Just said just showed Meltzer his own logic and said, exactly, Meltzer. So do you get your own logic? Doesn't like that because he's a pathological liar. Meltzer says pathological liars fear people who are honest. Anyway, one of us did major harm to multiple companies. The other just reported on it as it was happening. So now Meltzer's saying a pathological liar fears people who are honest. Dave just exposed himself. You know, this is cognitive dissonance. This is projection of the highest order. I've been saying it forever and ever and ever. It's proven right here. Anyway, one of us did major harm. So he's saying Bischoff did major harm to WCW, but I just reported on it. Like Dave's reporting doesn't harm people. Matt Morgan just came on the show and explained to us, PWT Universe, how it does harm the business. And I explain it fucking too. And then I get told by wrestlers I'm telling the fucking truth and that I'm right about this shit in my DMs. And they're like, keep doing the damn thing. And they might not want to come public that they're fucking on my side because they don't want to, you know what I mean? Because it does affect shit if you go against the establishment or whatever you want to call it, whatever I'm doing, just talking shit. Anyways, Jamie Earhart for $5. Dave hates when people prove him wrong. Brian. You get a flute because I'm cooking. You just made a statement. I can't really add to what you said, Jamie. Thank you so much for the $5. You're the absolute shit. And yeah, you just garnered another flute because you're absolutely right. That's what it is. And he did. That's why he battles with Brian, because Brian's willing to prove him wrong. But at least he concedes to Brian a bit. But he never goes like, "Oh, my bad." He just goes like, "Oh, well," and then he just moves along. Like Alvarez is like, "Oh, you told me that documentary's 2 hours," and he's like. And he's just like, oh, well, anyways, Rampage, you know, like he just doesn't even talk about it. It's just stupid. Anyways, so let's play Bischoff's clip here now. I ranted and raved. I said my piece. So we got a couple clips. I don't know if this is the one in particular, but Bischoff says Meltzer's lying. Yeah, this is the one. Meltzer's lying his ass off about the NWO. And so at Vic8122 says Eric Bischoff calls out Meltzer for saying Pat McAfee missed a Raw due to a storyline, blah, blah, blah. And this spurned from the NWO. The reason Bischoff brings up the Pat McAfee thing is because what Dave said on this show was Bischoff stole the idea for the NWO from this Japanese thing when he went to a show at whatever, some shit. And Bischoff's like, you're making this up. Like, name it then, Dave. Where, which one? Tell me who, what, when, where, how. Like, don't just say this shit. So here's like the extent of it. This is what spurns off into this, like, sort of feud, more of this feud. But damn, Bischoff goes off here, dude. He goes off on him, and I love this so much. Let's play the clip.
You fraudulent piece of fucking trash. This is why I despise this person's. This is the same piece of garbage that said that Pat McAfee's absence off of Monday Night Raw because he's got such great inside information was.
And did Dave apologize for that Pat McAfee shit? If he did, someone link me, because I can't.
Because it was part of a storyline, when in fact it was a death in the family. That comment about Pat McAfee and his absence from TV is all you need to know about anything else. This lying, fraudulent piece of, he's just a parasite. He's a no talent. He has zero talents and ability. He calls himself a journalist.
Anyone can lie and anyone can fucking put hack tweets out there. No offense to you good tweeters, but anyone can just say shit is what basically Bischoff's saying by that, talentless. Now, does he have the, especially when there was less wrestling to consume, like he claims he's the observer, but like he doesn't know about UK, Japan, Mexico. There's no way you can watch all of it. I know, because I try my best to touch my finger on the pulse of everything. It's fucking impossible, especially if you like UFC and shit too. And he talks about MMA, and especially if you like other shit. Like, I like movies, I like going to retro movies and stuff with my girl. I like doing all kinds of other shit too. Balancing all of it. Like back in the day, yes, Dave in the 80s, I said it before like the fucking internet and like the early 90s before the internet, like there's a million people who do what Dave's already been doing. And there's a million people who lie better. And I'm not talking shit, but look at the guy like Zero News. The guy just says anything. And then he's right some of the time, like very little of the time. And then people are like, well, he's right about this one thing. So it's all, and I'm not trying to, again, throw shade like people are catching strays, but that's what Bischoff means by like talentless. Like, okay, yeah, you cultivated an audience, but like, what the fuck are you doing besides what you claim is like your job? Like you're not actually doing that thing, and it's just hack and easy to do. Like anyone can just say shit, Sorry, let's go ahead.
He's just a parasite.
And I just say shit. People might be like, well, Phil, you just say shit. Yeah, but I'm like really funny. Blowing myself. No, but like you got, I'm entertaining. I bring I'm trying to approach this different than anyone else. That sort of thing. You got to bring something like that. Dave's just like, I'm the news. Here, I'm going to make up stories about someone's family just passed, and I'm going to just say, no, I was told by some. And like when everybody in the heat of everyone telling Dave he has no sources in WWE or that his sources are lying to him, and then he goes out and just says that, and then where's his retraction? He tells Brian Alvarez on the show, oh, the documentary's 2 hours long and they're going head-to-head with Dynamite and they know what they're doing. WWE airs the documentary. It's an hour long, and it ends right before Dynamite. Probably did AEW a fucking favor that night. And Dave just goes, oh, yeah, okay. Rampage. Tony Khan. Fuck, sorry. Eric's going to tell you better than I can.
Piece of, he's just a parasite. He's a no talent. He has zero talents and ability. He calls himself a journalist, yet he can't confirm a story. He writes lies. He's been caught red-handed printing lies from other people just to fill fucking 10,000 words and put out his garbage toilet paper that people spend $15 a month for, whatever it is. He has no understanding of the business, of the wrestling business.
He has no understanding of the wrestling business. There you go. He just went off on him. I believe there's more, though, because the feud doesn't end here. Of course,
You
Bischoff.
fraudulent piece of fucking trash.
I need that on the soundboard. Yeah, someone clip it and email an MP3 to prowrestletimes@gmail.com. Here we go. So here's Eric Bischoff. He continues with a fucking meme. Or no, this is someone's post, I guess. I thought this was a meme. He goes, prominent wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer accused of publishing stories based on false information. If you guys remember, this happened a while ago where it was proven, like somebody told him some shit about some Japanese promotion, and then he just went and reported it baselessly, and then it came out like, no, this was a fake thing. Eric, to be fair, he is a journalist that states his opinion, and he's not the law of the land. Why do you act like this? His word matters so much if you don't respect him. And I just responded. That's the guy I responded to. I was like, man, because he thinks his word is the law. So like you just go based off that, right? So here's AEW neck. Oh no, sorry, we covered that one. Collision on Saturday did 362.14 in the demo, which is all goofy gaga talk, but they want to use these metrics. MJF wants to cut promo saying Nielsen, so here we are, right? Talking about this for all those more. Imagine talking about TV ratings. Why do you care what the TV show does on the TV ratings? Well, because they say that's what they care about. So we're going to talk about it. You guys know this. Okay. Anyways, Meltzer tweets out, Collision on Saturday did blah, 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 which was considered excellent given the attempt Trump. Oh my God. No way. I didn't even know this. Dude, they tried to blame the Trump assassination news. Maybe that's true. Maybe my content took a hit because of it too. I didn't pay attention to all that. But come on, man. Come the fuck on. This, oh my God, which was considered excellent given the attempted Trump assassination news. 20 of the top 25 shows were news shows. SmackDown and Rampage were above usual on Friday, but there was no major competition. Raw, actually, last night when, against Home Run Derby. Jesus, man, they used the Trump thing. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Like, it affected everything, but say it affected everything. Don't say AEW did exceptionally well because of that. You know, the Home Run Derby anthem. Yeah, y'all. It was so bad, man. So Eric Bischoff quote tweets Dave. He's not done. He says, "Hey Dave, how's that storyline that Pat McAfee coming? You know, the one that required he miss an episode of Raw. We touched on that ad nauseum." Dave Meltzer on AEW's reported plans to potentially host a stadium show in Texas in 2025. So Dave keeps it real here. Wah, 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 wah. Smart moment of the week, I guess. He says, right now, AEW running a stadium show sounds really ambitious. They're not drawing big anywhere. They drew okay in Chicago. Calgary was okay. Was it? But most of them are still not good. Wednesday's show was at around 2,000, and it's a big show, the 250th episode. It's got a good lineup, but it's also in North Little Rock, Arkansas. If you look at where they sell their pay-per-views in that part of the country, they are not that popular. They have a lot of, dates in that, part of the, America country. And variably, when they go to that part of the country, they don't, Tony Khan, draw very well. Well, there you go, man. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Meltzer's journalism and coverage is just as fake as the product he covers. Oh, shit. Called us all out for suspending our disbelief. No, you're right. Wrestling is a work predetermined, if you will. And yeah, I mean, why not work marks? Like, that's what I think it is. I think he figured out, like, no, I'll just keep working some marks, or he's completely psychologically delusional. I lean more in that direction. I think Brian Alvarez is more of like no, we'll just work marks into fucking frenzies, and work them up and whatever. But the problem with that is you spurned and spawned motherfuckers like me who now made it my own show. And and now I'm going to talk to wrestlers and I'm going to do shit you're too afraid to motherfucking do. Dave Meltzer on CM Punk's status for SummerSlam after Adam Pearce refused to rescind Drew McIntyre's suspension on WWE Raw. Beer break, what? Minecraft? Dave says the last I heard about Punk, which would have been a week ago, about a week ago. Dave, you're hearing a bunch of bullshit. You were wrong last week too. Chat, you guys think Dave heard from Punk about a week ago?
Liar!
The last I heard about Punk, which would have been a week ago. Well, it's like, why don't you just say a week ago I heard about Punk, not the last I heard of him, which would have been a week ago if I had sources, Tony Khan. I was told probable, so it's not 100%, or it wasn't 100% a week ago. So maybe let me talk about it on my show and not say it's fantasy mark booking. I'll say that I have a source and then not hit an X-Files. You know what I'm saying, chat? Like, yeah. Let me just report this like I know what I'm talking about, and it's maybe is what I'm reporting. He's not cleared, or it could also be this is the storyline that they're doing. Guys, I have heard Punk has been cleared, and they're just not rushing him. They're like, dude, you guys are telling the story. You don't even need to get in the ring, Punk. You don't need to win a match to do anything. So just come back at SummerSlam. That's what I'm hearing. But again, I'm just Phil S. Marks. Do not listen to what I have to say when it comes to news related things in any which way. So moving along, Dave Meltzer on Miro, Malachi Black, and or Keith Lee potentially returning to WWE. Now, this one made me laugh so hard because, and I quote tweeted this as well, upset some people. I had someone say, literally no one called any of these three game changers. Bruhs, dudes and dudettes in the chat. Keith Lee, Malachi, and Miro are the game changers. Those are literally like the three who were called, and like so is Athena, so is Saraya, so is a bunch of people. But these three, like Keith Lee specifically, was like he's the game changer. Like I remember people being like WWE fumbled him worse than anyone, and like we're gonna get Rusev Day and fucking AEW, and Rusev Day was so over. But Meltzer is just like, well, who cares about them now? So they go from game changers, gonna change AEW, and now he's just like, who fucking cares?
You what? Liar! Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
So Meltzer says, about contract freezes, and these three particularly going back to WWE, says both WWE and AEW contracts, you don't have to, but they allow you to freeze. AEW has not frozen people's as much.
You what?
What? I guarantee they've frozen as much, dude. What are you talking about, man? He just always has to go, yeah, but, fed bad.
Conan!
Oh, man, it's so funny. It's so goddamn funny. Sorry, guys. It never fails. AEW hasn't frozen people's as much, hasn't frozen. Pardon me. I've been having a few libations, but they have the right to do it. With Miro, I don't see why you would do it. What's the point with Miro's a game changer. What's the point? Why would you even have him here 4 years later? With Malachi, he probably has some time. So he has some time left on his contract. With Keith Lee, does it really matter? So Dave is saying Keith Lee don't fucking matter, dude. Oh, Dave, did Keith Lee accidentally appear with Mia Wim at the Hall of Fame? How are your feelings, Dave? Now he doesn't care about Keith Lee, who's going through like health struggles, and is that dude. Like if they book him properly, like WWE was doing, yeah, we want you to be the Bearcat, growl a little and paw at the screen. But like even if he, or else you're fired. Sorry, can't forget without a fire. Vince can't leave without firing someone. But Keith Lee, man, he should go back to WWE, but he's got all these health scares, and now Dave's like, who cares? After this guy was the game changer, they fumbled him so bad. Like this is the fickleness. This is what fucking upsets me when it comes to even like the Cody Roman shit for a while. Look at what happened. We got to just not be so and Dave's just like the head of that shit. Who cares about Keith Lee or Malachi or Miro now? Why? Because the guy who books them, supposed to be booking them, doesn't do a good job. So now we shouldn't care because the booker doesn't care about them and he just signed them up like he was buying fucking action figures at Walmart. He saw the last fucking Roman Reigns and Logan Paul on the shelf and had to fucking die for it and get his little toys. So little Timmy over here couldn't get, not little Timmy, big Timmy, let's say, because WWE is a big giant, whatever. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, now we just shouldn't care about them because Tony Khan doesn't care about them. And because you don't care about them. Because they're sick or hurt or they don't want to put up with bullshit, Dave, that you're perpetrating, man. Man, forget y'all. What's that movie? Malibu's Most Wanted. Man, forget y'all. Anyways, yeah, he just said, you got to remember WWE did get rid of all these guys. I don't know that they would take Keith Lee back. Oh, shut the fuck up, Dave. He was one of Triple H's last black and gold guys, man. Shut your fucking mouth. I don't know that they would take Malachi. Oh, you mean one of Triple H's black and gold guys married to Zelina Vega? God, man. I would strongly presume I could easily see him going back. Oh, Malachi. Okay, good. Sorry. I thought he said he wouldn't see Malachi. So I'm a dummy there. Sorry. Matt Meltzer said what? About 5 minutes after the clip below, Dave and Brian discussed AEW's Willow Nightingale winning the vacant CMLL Women's World title. You'll be shocked to learn they had nothing negative to say about this. So Meltzer said what says Dave is concerned about WWE being partners with outside wrestling promotions because AJ Styles and Io Sky won their matches in Japan. Brian adds WWE protected Julia in losing too. So like what? They protected her in losing. So no, so 2 out of the 3 talent, Dave, have won in Japan, and one of them, or in these other promotions, Marigold, and one of them lost. 2 won, 1 lost, Dave. And then, but they made her look strong. Well, yeah. Like, anyways, so totally unlike in AEW where New Japan and CMLL guest wrestlers have combined record of like 19 and 174. That's a shoot, brother. So CMLL, New Japan, they get no love in AEW, right? And he's going to criticize this, but then right after he talks about how Willow wins the vacant CMLL women's title, an AEW wrestler for another promotion, going to another promotion, winning their belt, and he has no problem with it. Let's listen to the
So the top star, Saray, is like, she's a freelancer. She works for other companies. She's going to work a lot of Marigold dates, but you really want to build around one of your own people. And with Julia gone, the obvious person's Utami. Okay. I felt watching this that the role that Io should have played, I would guess that from a political standpoint, which is a situation with WWE. I mean, from a normal business helping your partner standpoint, there was no question in my mind. There's only one logical finish to this match, which is Utami goes over, because Io's the guest star. Utami is the person who's being groomed to be your top star. She needs a big win over somebody like Io to get her over the hump. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Dave, they'll do that in the second and third matches. Why doesn't he understand this? He claims he watches this shit. Dave, you rated Okada and Omega 7 fucking stars, dude. Why don't you understand that she'll get the win back over Io? And this is a prime Io. This isn't Jericho going to Noah and beating Takeshita. And Dave's trying to act like it's not political in AEW. I see that in the chat. It is political. Dave, you reported Thunder Rosa had to hide in a bathroom. She thought other girls were going to beat her ass. Dave, Cody Rhodes left. And they're still politicizing him in their books. Dave he's lost the plot, man.
But I'm sure that the politics were that, WWE will send us.
And WWE's all politics. Really, Dave? Because it seems like a lot of people who might not have liked each other, like Punk and shit, it seems like they're all working well together. It seems like Trick dropped the title to Ethan Page, no problem. Doesn't seem like he's politicking. Seems like they're all on the same page. Seems like you're talking about WWE like it's 2004 again or 1997. You don't really understand. Like you're kind of behind the times, like how we covered how you projected, Dave, right? You project earlier in the show, right? You project. So you project this onto Jim Cornette saying he's old and out of touch. Right, Dave? Really, that's you. That's what I think, Dave. I don't know. Maybe I'm old and out of touch. You know, I'm only 32. You're only 132. Maybe it's me. Who knows?
Send you Io Sky, but you can't beat her. So they did what they did. Okay. That's understandable that Io won, based on those politics. I don't think that WWE is the partner that they're claiming, but at the same time, these groups that are working with WWE and groups that WWE is also talking with, there's other groups like that. The bottom line is they want to work with WWE so bad, and they're going to accept whatever WWE says. They're not going to be like when it comes to old school working together and you go like,
Dave, so they're not going to be. See, he just makes shit up. No, these other companies will just let them beat us to powder. No, we're not going to protect Joe Hendry. They just want to work with WWE so bad. Well, why don't they want to work with AEW so bad? Oh, they'll just do jobs. Really? So when Julia becomes NXT Women's Champion, which is going to happen, what then, Dave? What then? So Joe Hendry comes in, gets millions of WrestleMania, comparable to WrestleMania views, pardon me, and they move along a TNA storyline, and now Joe Hendry's fighting for the world title in TNA. So it does no good for Joe Hendry, who won in NXT's main event with Trick Williams, the most over guy in NXT. Joe Hendry gets the pinfall victory, and then he does this commentary spot where he invades their whole show, and then right after that, he's going to show up on their show after Slammiversary, sold out 4K, mind you, Dave. Is that burying other companies? Getting fucking millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views? I wonder. AEW is doing the very same things that the cultist fan base accused AEW of doing. Wrestlers are not toys to be hoarded. The NXT Noah Marigold TNA partnership is everything the AEW TNA partnership should have been. Right. And if you guys missed my interview with Ant Evans, I'll plug it again. And he's friends with Meltzer, by the way, guys. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I fucking cook Meltzer, dude. Like, I do it every day. Ant Evans is friends with Meltzer, and he fucks with me. I'm not talking out of turn. You guys got to understand this. Ant Evans, though, talks about the TNA AEW stuff, and that was ugly. That was trash. And then earlier in the show, we talked about it, too, with Moose. He touched on it and said the relationship with WWE is way better than the relationship with AEW. So Dave Meltzer thinks that TNA is just in this bullshit partnership getting shit on when the Rascals just got to win on NXT? Or is it more bullshit, Dave, when Tony Khan went on their show, buried them all, had Kenny Omega go over on everybody, and then give them Old Man Christian to fucking lose the belt or whatever? What was better, Dave? Like, come on, man. It's just ludicrously biased. And exactly, you said it. NXT Noah Marigold TNA. That's what it is. It's not Raw, SmackDown, main roster. Shadow Badass, shout out fucking you, because that's the way you lined it up like that is. That's what it is right now. Excuse me. And you can put they're making a play for Mexico and Puerto Rico and all of Latin American countries and stuff, South America, etc. And they're making a play in Japan, like All Japan Pro Wrestling as well. But exactly, Tony Khan does a whole fucking pay-per-view Wrestle Stream. It's great. And on the fucking advertisement, it says AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, CMLL. So WWE does the same thing, but fed bad with NXT, Noah, Marigold, and TNA, but fed bad. That's all this is. It's sour grapes, it's cope, and it's fucking bullshit. Again, I'll give you a bruv.
Well, we need this and we need this. It's like, no, this is what you're going to get, and you're not going to be beating our top people.
Well, even in the Julie match, it was Julian Saray for the title. It was going to be the first champion. And, the finish of the match was Saray goes after the bad wrist, and she takes off the wrist brace, and she takes off the tape and everything, and she's got the little thing on her arm. And she goes for the fingers in the wrist, and she starts cranking the fingers in the wrist, and the referee stops the match, and, like, immediately the announcers are like, she didn't give up, she didn't quit, the referee stopped it. I mean, they very much...
So imagine keeping Julia, who went viral, strong. They don't understand. keeping an opponent strong for a rematch, or Sari, who is also in WWE already. If you guys didn't know, she's in video games. She was in WWE. So that match down the line, or when they go to WWE Japan, maybe they do a PLE there. Who fucking knows? It's just such Mark bullshit what they're saying. Talking out of their ass. And then 5 minutes later, Dave and Brian talk about Willow winning the fucking vacant CMLL title, dude. They don't have one word to say about it.
We had the three-way for the vacant CMLL World Women's title, which Stephanie Vacure had to vacate after signing with WWE. And Willow Nightingale beat Luvia and Viva Van to win the title. Was that?
Juvia to win
the title. And she ended up pinning Viva after a gut-wrench powerbomb. And so looks like
No. I won't show the chat on screen. I'm going to get another screen so I can see the chat while I'm in the bookmarks, because I have to just go between tabs on my browser. You know what I mean? So, and then like I have YouTube open in another window. It's a whole thing. I'll figure it out. I need another screen for me, so I can just see. I'm not going to put the chats on screen. That's crazy. Even the Twitter, I chance it every time with that, because people be saying wild shit in the Twitter. Anyways, though, we'll continue.
Movie and her will be facing off probably at Capital Collision. Looks to be the first title defense for Willow.
Or it could be in Mexico.
Could be in Mexico, yeah.
Could be on a big show.
Or even AEW.
Could be in AEW, yeah.
But yeah,
so Willow is the second person in history to hold a championship in CMLL, AEW, and New Japan.
Dude, AEW's only been around for 5 fucking years. Jesus Christ, bro. That's insane when they do that. Oh, the first one in history to hold these 3. It's like, bro, no one gives a fuck. Okay? I mean, is that a cool record? Sure, yeah, I fucking guess, but it's 5 years old, man. It's not like the belt is,
The first being Chris Jericho,
there you go.
who held the NWA World Light Heavyweight title, or NWA Middleweight title, I should say, in CMLL in the 90s.
So the NWA title constitutes, I guess, CMLL is part of the, So Dave Meltzer responds to AJ Styles' recent comments, which we covered on the last show with Matt Morgan, about him giving 5 stars to matches in Japan. Dave Meltzer says, AJ was trying to knock me. It made no sense what he was saying, but he tried. His thing was, this guy gives 5-star matches to the stuff in Japan and it doesn't matter and nobody cares. But when you watch the matches, it's like, there's a reason that they're better here in Japan. And it's like, huh? Dave, no, they're fucking not, though. How are they better? In your opinion, they're better.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
In Dave's opinion, they're better in Japan. That's the fucking thing. And he thinks this is further proof of what we've fucking exposed in this segment, folks. It's further proof. Like, he's just fully delusional, sociopathic, dead shark eyes, soulless behind the eyes. Because, dude, I'm going so savage. Because, dude, he's like, and then you watch the matches and it's like, huh? And like, no one's doing that. No one's going, oh, the matches are fucking crazy. No one's doing that. So I don't know, Dave. You're just getting called out on your bullshit and you don't like it. You're spiraling out of control. More verbal diarrhea from Meltzer. Shout out Pablo Canuck, fellow Canadian. Let's hear it.
I do find really interesting, though, is that with NXT has turned it around by introducing new characters to the show. And like they'll bring in guys from TNA. Can you imagine if AEW was bringing in these guys like Zach Wentz? The people are getting mad enough about, we don't want any ROH guys on and this and that. If they were bringing in Zach Wentz and Joe Hendry, God, I like Joe Hendry and everything, but Jordan Grace and all this, in AEW, those fans would just be crapping on it so bad. We don't want to see these guys, and in NXT, the fans there.
No, they wouldn't, because if it was booked properly, people would give it its due. And also in NXT, it's developmental. Dynamite's the main roster. Bring these random guys in, do it in ROH, and have a fucking developmental. It's that simple, Dave. You're trying to compare apples to fucking bananas, okay? Pisses me off.
They embrace everyone except for Rich Holland for whatever reason, but everyone else that comes in from Baron Corbin, anyone, right? Anyone from another company, they just embrace it. They're so happy that they're gracing the Performance Center with that. And AW.
Meanwhile, AW goes, oh, Kenny Omega and El Hijo del Vikingo. Epic super mega dream match main event. And then it doesn't deliver. WWE's making no promises, and then Joe Hendry goes crazy, millions of views. Dave, you're bitter. You're coping. Oh, if they worked with Jordan Grace and AEW? Not if they booked her correctly, you fucking idiot. If Joe Hendry came in and went mega viral on AEW? They don't know how to do that. God damn it. Oh, if they brought in Zachary Wentz, you mean the fucking Wes Lee who's super over and that team that's super over and he got released on some bullshit and that team, the Rascals that are super over in TNA, and you mean that team that linked up together and had a fucking 6-man tag, and it was a great match, by the way, for the flippy shit and all that stuff Dave likes. You think you'd have given it 5, 6, 7, 8 stars, but it wasn't in Japan. And he's sitting here going, Zachary Wentz, you mean like the super over team and they just put him in a quick 6-man and they got to win? And everyone knows what the Rascals is and everyone remembers MSK and thought it was bullshit that Wentz, like, what the fuck? Dave's just so bitter and dumb.
You bring in new guys and it's really tough. I do find really interesting.
God damn it. And it's all good to be a hardcore if you're a hardcore of AEW. But if you're a hardcore of fucking TNA and NXT, like the NXT fan base is still hardcore as fuck. But if you're hardcore like that, no, that's not good. But if you're hardcore like Dave, wherever he wants you to be hardcore, that's good. If you're hardcore CMLL or you're hardcore New Japan or you're hardcore AEW, then that's all good. But if you're hardcore NXT, TNA, it's all bullshit. Meltzer on the AJ Styles versus Naomi Marufuji match in Pro Wrestling Noah. I really enjoyed it, but again, it was just a match, a great match, you know? It was a solid match. They did great work, Japanese style. AJ goes over. It was just cool to hear him come out with his WWE theme, that bad fucking theme in Japan. And yeah, he did the damn thing. It was awesome. But Meltzer says, I think just as a pure wrestling match, I think it was better than the AJ versus Cody Rhodes match. Okay, sure. It didn't have the heart of those matches. Well, of course, because there was no build, Dave. So you're, by proxy, admitting what I've said all the fucking time and what I say all the time. The story matters. That's why there was heart in the Cody AJ one. The fucking idiot. Can go when he needs. Marufuji can go when he needs to go. You're not going to see that in most matches, but Marufuji was way up for this. And AJ maybe even more than Marufuji because AJ looked like the AJ of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He looked like one of the best wrestlers in the world. Spectacular in this match. Yeah, he looks like that every match, Dave. It's AJ Styles, okay? God damn it. So we're rearing the end here. I got 2 more for you guys. Here's AJ's response, sort of. Here's what here's wrestlers cooking the shit out of Dave in 2024 thus far.
A lot of Japanese matches get 5-star ratings from people that really don't matter, but when you watch it back, you understand because it's always the fans that make the match. It's not the wrestlers. We're just there. And the fans always make the best matches. A lot of Japanese.
Okay, here's Omega.
But he's jumped the fucking shark, so it doesn't count for much anymore. He has jumped the motherfucking shark, and guess who is to blame for that?
Kenny.
Me. I'm the guy. I broke this scale. It fucked up something in his brain where he doesn't even know what good matches anymore. He's just like, Kenny, you opened my mind to this weird fucking world of wrestling that I never saw before in my life. And I think he doesn't understand it anymore. He stopped being able to understand. He can't comprehend what's going on. I opened Pandora's box.
Remember when everyone said Kenny was working a storyline here and it tied into the fucking Elite and all that? And like, where's he at? He ain't been there. So no, I think he's telling the truth.
And it's just running rampant now. That's all it is.
Here's Ospreay. Here's Bruv Spray. Sorry, it's loading.
Meltzer.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I think I'm just a charming man.
Do you think you're as good as he thinks you are?
No, because like when you talk about guys like Kurt Angle and he hasn't got 1 5-star,
Yeah,
there we go.
I'm nowhere near the level of what Kurt Angle is, but I do feel like I've got my own special, unique, like stuff that Kurt Angle could never do.
Yeah,
I could do, but stuff that I could never do, Kurt Angle could do. I think it's just his opinion.
Fuck.
You know?
Weird noises coming out of that video. At Meltzer said what says like, oh my God, Valley Girl Meltzer is on his high horse again about real reporters asking real questions about WWE or at WWE press conferences. Dave claims Cena was not ready to be asked about Vince, unlike his like totally Dan Rather interview with Tony Khan. I see, he's trying to be funny there. Dave Meltzer is not hinging that a product of his environment. It's no surprise he lives where he's at and acts the way he does. I don't fully know what you're trying to say, but I'm not surprised either. Thanks so much for the super chat. I don't know what I can add to that. It's no surprise to me either, though. Yeah, like California too. Like a lot of people say that, oh, it's like pompous asses, but I don't want to offend like Californians. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are like, no, fuck that. You know, I think Jacob Fatu's from fucking California, so you know, he's a badass, real one, dude.
And now, as Terry Drinkwater reports, there is a new outbreak of Americanisms, and it may be spreading.
First, understand, like, there's this valley, the San Fernando Valley, the biggest bedroom suburb of Los Angeles. In the valley, of course, they're girls. And like all teenage girls, they talk. But as scholars of the language note, in a most peculiar way.
Like tubular. Well, it's like a totally great day. It's like totally awesome. Gag me with a spoon. It's grody to the max. That means it's disgusting. It's totally grody. It's like if you have to work or like do housework and clean your room. It's like stuff like that. It's like gag me with a spoon. It's totally, yeah.
Hilarious. Gag me with a spoon. It's totally like, yeah. Let's see what
the
Meltzer
press
says.
conference in which he said, ask me anything.
He wasn't expecting anything.
Okay, but so you don't think he was expecting that question at all?
Absolutely not. No.
I don't know.
Nobody.
When he said
they don't expect reporters to ask real life questions. They don't. They expect. I mean, hey, the one that I didn't expect from me was the reporter who goes, "Hey, what about going on the dark side in your last year?" And as soon as he said that, and Cena just blew it off. I'm just thinking like, oh my God, is this the stupidest question that I've ever heard? You're going to want John Cena to go heel in his retirement tour? Is that like?
I agree with Dave, man. A lot of those questions were fucking dumb. They were so stupid. 100%.
You know, I mean, I see stuff every day from people where I go like, you got no freaking instincts when it comes to this business. But boy, that was a different level. You know, It's like I was thinking like, man, wouldn't it have been great for Bruno to go out as a heel, you know?
You got no instincts, Dave, talking. Oh my God.
I guess I don't understand what they're doing at these press conferences, because how do they not have like John Pollock and Brandon Thurston and John Alba like wanted posters? Like just
because why don't they have wanted posters for them?
Inside going like, okay, don't call on these guys. Like if this is what they want to do,
I guess look,
because they're not afraid of these tough questions. You guys are just fucking idiots trying to do gotchas all the time. And you guys think it's cool, fed evil. Like they just expose themselves all the time.
If they didn't want them there, they would not let them there. So it tells me that they do not want the reputation of banning real reporters from those things.
But then at the same time, you see those guys and you go to John and you go, okay, you're telling
John Cena doesn't know this. They would know it, but John Cena
but you got to prepare the guy. You got to tell him, hey, there's 3 guys here who may ask you about Vince McMahon. Be ready.
Maybe they fucking did. Like, why are you bro? You're sitting there trying to convince Meltzer that his lie isn't real. Pretty much, like, yeah, they probably did tell him, look, you might get asked about fucking Vince. So don't take Dave's word for it. Where he's like, absolutely not. There's no way they told him. Tony Khan.
Well, he was as ready as he was going to be. He said,
I hate when fans and pro wrestling media says a wrestler got better or improved when they moved to another company, especially when they wrestle the exact same. The wrestler didn't change, just the environment did. Yo, exactly. That's a round of applause there too, because do you guys remember when fucking Ronda Rousey left, like just showed up at Ring of Honor randomly? And then she did an indie first, and then she went to Ring of Honor. And in the indie match, she got suplexed on the back of her fucking neck. Whatever. I don't hold high angle suplexes, whatever. We grew up on that shit. But she did. She got slammed on the back of her neck, and all these marks were literally going, wow, not gonna lie, Ronda, not in WWE, can actually cook. She was doing the exact same moves. The only difference was fucking Marina Shafir dropped her on her head or whatever, doing a fucking suplex. Literally, that's the only difference. And yes, I hate that shit too. Hate's a strong word, but I vehemently dislike Ash. I couldn't agree with you more. It should be stated more. Like, these people. Okay, so it goes the other way too. Mace and Mansoor are going to debut in Ring of Honor. People are going to shit on them inevitably and be like, oh, they're not even that good. It's going to happen. But I hate that shit too when like Ronda goes to the Indie or Ring of Honor and someone drops on her head and they're like, oh, she can really actually go. Look at her wrestling. It's like she was doing the same moves. You guys don't watch. You clearly just don't even watch the show. So yeah, that's why I got these motherfuckers mad at me, hacking me during the live broadcast, because dude, I actually watched the shit. I know what I'm talking about. Let's finish Dave here. There's 27 seconds left of this nonsense. Then we're playing a flute.
I mean, I thought he actually handled
it.
It
and goes like I've already talked about it before, and go look it up. The Howard Stern interview.
Go look it up. Tony Khan. Go look it up.
That's what it's pretty much was his answer.
So I guess Stephanie Vaquer is going to be on the tour tomorrow, right?
Stephanie Vaquer is going to be introduced on the show tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, that whole what a week that turned into.
And Dave having to cope yet again. And that, guys, was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week.